Hi everybody, this is Judy Tuttle from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm so happy to be with you all tonight. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I had a great day at work. It's a beautiful day in Lincoln, Nebraska, but I hear there's some storms over on the southeast coast. Roz, I hope you're doing okay and that you can join us tonight. She sent me a little message saying that there were some storms headed her way, and so she was a little bit nervous about that. I hope you are all doing well. We had a little glitch in our family this last week. My husband found out last Thursday that he had COVID. And so we have been living apart in our home for about the last 4 days. I am planning on attending the Onstage conference in Arlington, and so I've been keeping my distance and masking up even in the house at times when we're in the same. Hi Vicki, thanks for joining me. Hi Carol, thanks for joining me. And so we've been in the same house, but pretty much on two different floors and the whole time. When we are in the same vicinity, I wear a mask because I really want to go to Onstage in Arlington, Texas, which is a big Stampin' Up convention. There's different places all over the United States. There's Jacksonville, Florida, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, Montreal, Anaheim, California. I think there might be one in Salt Lake City, and I'm going to the one, hi Sue, in Arlington, Texas, and I'm taking 3 of my downline with me, and I've tested twice. I'm fine. I've never gotten COVID, and I've been around it a lot. I'm knocking on wood right now because I'm really trying hard to stay well. So hi Teresa, thanks for joining me. So I am so excited. Let me get you on my computer. I can see your comments right now, but when I move the camera down, I won't be able to see your comments. So let me refresh my page here and get you all going and loaded up. There we go. And now I can see your comments when you get on. I've seen a couple of names already of people I don't know. So when you get on, please let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from, and that way I can say hi to you. It's always so good to see the same names pop up every Monday. You guys are so great about coming in and watching me every week, and I just so appreciate that. Well, I have another online card class to go for you tonight, and if you want to get the kit, I give you enough paper and pieces cut for you so that you can make 2 of each card that I will be making tonight. In order to get the kit shipped to your house, you have to place a $30 order in my online store, Tuttle Up Shop. There'll be a link for that right up here, including a direct link using the host code that I want you to use for this online class, okay? If you place a $30 order, I give you the kit for 6 cards, 2 of each design, but I can't stamp anything for you, right? And so you're gonna have to get the stamps for sure, and I would really encourage you to get the die cuts because especially with this stamp set, the pieces are really little. So I would hate for you to have to fussy cut all of those out. The bigger pieces, the circles and the rectangles and the labels, that sort of thing, I die cut those for you, okay? Oh, don't let COVID scare you away, Sue. You should go. Mask up if you have to. It is such a phenomenal experience. You'll be sad if you miss it. I know you will. Okay, but do what you feel safe with. I understand it's everybody's realm of comfortableness with that. is to each their own, okay? So I understand that. Okay, so before I get started on my 3 cards for tonight, which you're gonna love, I'm using the Snowman Magic stamp set, and it builds all these. Do you want to build a snowman? Do. Okay, so it's all these pieces to build a snowman, lots of cute snowman sayings, that sort of thing. And this die set is phenomenal. Look at all those pieces. So all those little pieces have dies that help you piece together your snowman. I'm going to show you that a little bit tonight. But before we get to that, I want to show you some of the cards I've made for my Christmas barn class that will be, you can come 2 nights, or you can get it to go, or you can buy the PDF. Any of those are options. Come in person Friday night, November the 18th. Is it November? Yes, November the 18th at 7. Come in person Saturday at 10 o'clock, November the 19th. You can get it to go, which is where I pack it all up and give you the PDF and all the instructions, and I send it to you in the mail. Or you can buy the PDF for $15. Hi, Dana. I hope it's Dana and not Dana. I have a friend that spells her name just like you, and she says Dana. So maybe you can correct me here in just a minute. But I want to show you my barn cards that I designed this weekend. So one thing I've come to realize is that when your husband has COVID and you're forced to live most of the time in your craft room, you really get a lot done. And I did a lot of designing this weekend. So here is one of my barn cards. Isn't that cute? Look how that silo, I did it out of Dana. Okay, so see how the silo is made out of silver foil, and so it glimmers like a silo. I love this card, very simple. This is my second card. It is like a window glass kind of card. It's like you're looking out a window on a frosty, snowy day, and you can see the sled going by. It's just magical, isn't it? Okay, and then this is my next one, the red barn. Of course, if you're going to do a barn Christmas, you have to have one that's red, right? And so you can't see it, but there's a lot of Wink Stella on the roof and down here in the snow. I love that card too. And then here's my last one. I love this one too. May the joy fill your heart this season. May joy fill your heart this season. It's got a little shadow of the barn in the background, almost like it's snowing over it, right? Like you're looking at the barn through the snow. I really love this card too. So I would love for you guys to join me. Thank you, Sue. Join me for my Christmas barn class on one of those days, or to go, or you can get the PDF. If you go to the registration for the barn class, you can also order the PDF only there if that is what you would like, okay? So thanks for letting me show that off, and I hope that you guys will think about joining that Christmas barn class and being a part of that. So, and then I have a huge holiday stamp a stack on December the 4th. It's the last huge holiday class that I will be having. And at the Stamp a Stack, you can make 20 cards, 5 each of 4 designs. And because we're making 20, the cards will be super simple, super fast, not a lot of detail, because we're trying to get these whipped out quick, right before Christmas. So if you would like to come to my holiday Stamp a Stack, there'll be more information in my newsletter tomorrow and over the next several weeks. We have a little bit of time on that. So, okay, let's get started. You guys ready to get started? I'm going to move my camera down. You know, this always is a little bit weird, but we will make it through. There we go. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm going to refresh my computer over here because all of a sudden it just froze up, and I'm hoping you guys are not frozen on me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is the host code that you'll want to use this week if you're going to buy the class to go that I'm showing you tonight. PBAMECVW is the host code. But after this class, up in the description, I will be sure to link my store and the host code in the description. So all you have to do is click on it and the host code will automatically go in there. I will know that you want the Snowman Magic class, and when your order comes through, I will start cutting and getting your kits all ready to go, okay? So I'm gonna put this aside for just a second. And now I wanna show you the colors that I'll be using tonight. Somebody said, you go through the colors so fast, I don't know what colors to order. Okay, so you'll need a Memento Black, okay, because we're gonna do a little bit of blending, and Memento Black is the ink that you wanna use if you're gonna use a blend pen. You want Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, Soft Seafoam, and Real Red. These are the colors we're using tonight, okay? All right, so I'm going to put these aside. I'm going to pull out the easiest card first, okay? So let me get my kit here. Let me grab my card. Here we go. So I'm going to show you tonight a variation of cards that you can make with the stamp set. They don't all have to have detailed snowmen on them, okay? So this is one that I've just cut strips of paper. I've added that big sentiment, it's the most magical time of the year. I've added a couple of wonderful snowflakes in there, some iridescent gems, and that's about it. And then the inside just has one more of those strips, kind of pull it all together, okay? So I'll tell you what I did. Let me grab my pieces here. I first took a piece of Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, this is Pacific Point. Cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, okay? I've got a piece of white for the inside. I will get to that in just a minute. And that piece of white is cut 4 by 5 1/4. That's a pretty common size for the inside of a card. Okay, I have a piece from the Gnomes. Now the Gnomes paper, you know, if you don't like gnomes and mushrooms, that's okay, because the opposite side of this paper is just beautiful, okay? So I took a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, okay? And then I just started chopping off at this end, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, so I cut 1/2 inch pieces all the way down. It really wouldn't have to be 5 1/4, it could just be 5, okay? So I've already done that ahead of time here just to save us some time. So here are all my pieces, okay? Now, it's okay for them to look a little Yankee when you put them on the card. They don't have to be perfectly straight, right? So I'm just gonna quickly add a little bit of glue, and I'm using glue because I want to have a little bit of wiggle room here. Am I going to get lucky and these line up according? They don't have to. Trust me. If you're careful about how you cut them, you can reline up the snowflakes. I don't know if I'm going to get so lucky though, but I might. Let's see. So far so good. Look at that. And I am not being like, oops, super careful about how straight they are. In fact, I think maybe it's probably best if they're not super straight, and then you can say, I purposely made them not straight, and then you don't have to stress out about them being straight, right? That's my MO. Pretend like you made it that way on purpose, and then you have an out, okay? So I'm purposely making these a little crooked here. it over. So I have to admit, I love snowmen, but I'm not big on snow. I think snow's only good for one thing. Can you guess what that one thing is? I'll give you a minute to see. Well, maybe two things. There are two things snow's good for. I'll say that, and then you guys can guess what they are. Here we go. I'm just going to keep going down the card. One thing that I think snow is good for is a snow day off of school. And the other is on Christmas Day. I think I will miss, I'm gonna do that one a little bit like that. I will miss snow on Christmas Day, but we don't always. There you go, Dana. That I do love. Okay, so let's say that. I love having a snow day, so I don't have to go to my day job and I can stay home and stamp. So it is wonderful for a white Christmas, but you know, let's get real. We don't really get that many white Christmases, right? Like, we always hope for them. I can think of maybe twice in my time here in Nebraska, we've actually had a legitimate white Christmas, that it snowed on Christmas Eve or whatever. Okay, so then I'm taking the last strip that I have. I put 9 strips. If this is 5 inches long and you cut it into 1/2 inch pieces, you should get 10. So here's that extra strip, and I'm going to use it for the inside of my card here, right here at the very bottom. There we go. And then I'm going to attach this to the inside of my card. There we go. Use a little seal. Okay, so I spilt a little water on my stamping surface right before I started, of course, and I got a little dot of it on this paper, but it will be okay. You see it right there? It's hard to see, but it'll be okay. Okay, so there is my card so far. And now I am going to take 2 wonderful snowflakes. Let me see if I can find where I put those. I had them here, and then I thought, am I going to use those wonderful snowflakes? If not, I know exactly where to grab 2 more. Yeah, I think I forgot I was using them. Okay. So I might have a few packages of the wonderful snowflakes here. If you want to know the number, it's 156340, and there's $6. And I'm just going to show you how easy they are. You get 24 snowflakes in a package. And this is actually 2 sheets here, I think. Is it? Nope, it's just one. Okay, so I'm just going to pull. They're very easy to pull, and you would think you might rip them, but I've never ripped one yet. And I'm not always the most careful, so I'm just going to pull these out. Okay. And I'm taking a little bit of liquid glue, and I just put it right in the center. You don't want a lot because you don't want it to like bubble out. And I'm putting 1 snowflake here in this corner, like that. It's already beautiful, isn't it? I'm going to take another one. These wonderful snowflakes, have you noticed how often I use them? I use them a lot. Okay, so I'm putting the other one right there. So there are my 2 wonderful snowflakes. I cut a piece of silver foil from the scallop circle dies, and this one is about 2.5 inches. Okay, it's about 2.5 inches. So then I cut a stitched circle from my Stylish Shapes, and I'm going to take this stitched circle and I am going to stamp on it I do feel like there's a right side. There's a side that you can just tell the stitching is a little more distinct. I'm going to take my Pacific Point ink, and anytime I'm using photopolymer, I like to use a pad underneath it. Some people feel differently, but I really feel like the pad makes a big difference with photopolymer stamps because they don't have that cushion, right, that the red rubber stamps have. Whoop, there we go. Beautiful. It's the most magical time of the year. Okay, so now you know why my church never asks me to sing on stage. I always wanted to, but you know, they never offered it up to me. Okay, so there we go. Just add a little liquid glue to that. I'm gonna press that down. Sometimes I even like set a clear block or something on it. If I like that the liquid glue gives us a little wiggle room there. Okay, now I'm gonna take some silver twine here, and I'm going to turn this over, and I want it to wrap this way, this diagonal. I want it to be up here, loops up here, and loops down here. So I'm going to flip this over, and I want my loops to be this way, bottom left to top right, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Stamp and Seal plus something strong, and I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to loop it. Okay, and I just like to stick it to it. It just kind of helps it to clean. And then I'm going to loop it down here like that, and then I'm going to cut it up here at the top. There we go. And I just press that all down. Now that's just to hold it in place, right like that. Do you see? That just holds it in place until I get the dimensionals on the back side of this. So let me grab some dimensionals. I love those snowflakes too, Kathy. I have a lot of them. I've used them on so many cards this year, and I used them on, they came back from last year, so I've used them on a lot of cards. I'm probably putting way more dimensionals on there than we really need, but you know, they're cheap, $4. You get like 300 of them, so why not get lots of dimension and a solid surface on your label, right? Nice to see you here tonight, Kathy. Thanks for joining me. I hope you like your stuff that you picked up from me this weekend. Okay, so there we go. How pretty is this? And just so simple, right? There we go. Do you like that? And then for the final touch, I'm going to take some of our iridescent gems, which, by the way, I love as well. And I'm just going to swoop them up with my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to put one up here. Just going to work my way down. You know, they say odd numbers are the ticket. There we go. And here, another small swoop right there. Another swoop right here. And a final larger iridescent gem right there at the bottom. Isn't that pretty? And really such a simple, I like all the bling on it. I like the snowflakes peeking out. I like the silver. I like the silver thread. There is a lot to love about this simple little card, right? And then the inside brings it all together with that strip of paper on the inside as well. So that is card number 1. And I didn't even use all those snowman dies, right? I just used the sentiment that is in that set. So I like to let you see a variation of things that you can do with the same stamp set, right? Okay, so let's put that one away. And my silver thread. And let's get started on second card. Card number 2 is a very much a Christmas snowman card. How cute is this one? I am very proud of this card because I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And it's kind of a flip card. So the DSP is followed through on the inside. So when you look at it on the front, it kind of looks like it's going to be a regular full folded card, right? And then you open it up and it brings that DSP into the inside with just a few of those little trees on the inside panel. I just really love this. And as crazy as this looks, it really isn't that hard to put together. Okay, so let me get all my pieces out here. It makes things, Dana. You're just bringing a smile to my face tonight. All the positivity. Thank you. Okay, so snowmen make me smile too. And the thing is, really, I went through a phase of my life where I was super crazy about snowmen. I had a huge snowman collection, and it's so funny because I'm not really crazy about snow, but it's okay. It all, let me see here. I think this goes down like that. There we go. Okay, so this is a piece of cardstock. Real red is what I'm using, of course. 4 1/4 by 9 3/4, and then I scored it at 5 1/2. Okay, 4 1/4, 9 3/4, scored at 5 1/2. Okay, so on the front of my card right here, I have a piece of designer series paper that is 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, and I'm just going to attach that to the top panel outside here. All right, right like that, good. And then I'm gonna take a piece of basic white that is cut 3 3/4 by 5. It's just a little smaller than what we normally cut it. And I'm going to add this panel to the inside of my card. Okay. Center it. There we go. And then I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper, and I'm actually going to put it right over at the bottom there. And I want you to look how this matches up so well. Oop, maybe I need to flip it over. Nope, that's right. That is right. I don't know why I was thinking. It doesn't even have to match up, but it's kind of fun when it does, right? So I'm going to glue this panel to the bottom edge here. All right. There we go, right there. Now, what I decided to do is add a few trees to the inside here. So let me grab those and a block. And I am using, I lied to you earlier, because I am using Evening Evergreen for the inside trees. And I have it over here with my barn stuff. So let me grab that real quick. Evening Evergreen you will also need, and the only place you need it is on these little trees on the inside. So if you didn't have Evening Evergreen, the other colors that are in this are Garden Green and Pear Pizzazz, okay? So you can also use that color for your trees. I used Evening Evergreen. There we go, right there. That's the inside of my card, okay? I'm gonna put this aside, close up this ink pad really quick, and I'm gonna put that aside for just a second because now I'm gonna work on my front panels here. Okay, so I cut a scalloped circle from the contour dies. You could, I'll cut this for you in the kit, and it's gonna go on a piece of Garden Green. And let me grab my I want to measure this for you here. So the Garden Green is 3.5 by 4 3/4. The Garden Green is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then my scalloped contour die is 4 1/4 by about 3, okay? And I say about 3 because I'll die cut it for you, and we are, you would just use the die that is that size. Okay, so before I put this on here, I am going to, nope, I can't go ahead and put that on there. I was afraid I needed to put something underneath it first, but we're gonna take some real red ribbon and wrap it all the way around this panel, okay? And do you know my rule for bows? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more. That's if you want to tie a bow. If you want to tie a knot, you just do 3 and a little bit more, okay? We're tying a bow. I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to show you again how I tie my bows so they come out perfect every time. I'm going to take the right panel, put it over the left so it forms a V. I'm going to take that top piece, pull it underneath, and then pull the ribbon so it forms 2 perpendicular lines, right like that, okay? I put my finger underneath the bottom thread and I loop up. I wrap the top around and loop it into the hole and pull. And there you go, perfect bow every time. If you want to see how to do that again, you can hit replay and keep watching it over and over. But I have a whole video, if you search my videos, on how to tie a perfect bow. And I don't know, it always works for me. I know it can be tricky for some people. Look at how I'm just butchering the end of that ribbon. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, so there is my bow. And now that I have that on there, isn't that pretty already? That just screams Christmas, doesn't it? Okay, I'm just gonna set that aside. Then I cut another stitched circle from the same stylish shapes, and this one is 3 inches in diameter. And I did 2 things. I first cut out my circle, and then I took our white glimmer paper. This comes in a pack of white and red together. You get 3 6x6 sheets of white and 3 6x6 sheets of red. And I just took a strip and I just cut a circle out of like a 1.5 inch strip, okay? So, I was gonna see if I had one here I could show you. But anyway, this would be provided for you in the kit. I just cut a little half circle piece there, not even half, look, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna take my snow here and I am going to put it on the bottom of my circle, just so it looks like snow on the bottom half of my circle, like right like that. okay? Isn't that fun? Okay. And because it's a circle, if you don't get it crooked, you know what you do? You just turn your circle. That's the geometry teacher in me. Okay, so then I'm gonna take a piece of white paper and I'm gonna do some stamping. I am going to stamp the snowman and the snowman hat in Memento black ink. And I've put them both on the same block, just to leave room to die cut around them, okay? And then I've got my snowman face. There are two faces that come. One is turning left and one is turning right. So we're gonna use that one right there. Ooh, one eye's just he's got a little bit of a swollen eye, but that's okay. Okay, and then I've got my scarf and a little red bird, and I'm gonna stamp them in real red. There we go. And then I would, anything else I need to die cut? Oh, his little arms, I die cutted out, is that a word? Die cut out. So his little arms, there are two pieces. There are little arms that if you just want the stick arms, and then there are arms if you want to stamp the arms and then cut them out. But there's a really cool design feature of these arms I want to show you in just a second. And then I took this tree right here and I cut two of them out of evening evergreen paper. 1, 2, okay? If I were gonna die cut these out, right, I would take each of these shapes. Look, here's the little scarf, blah, blah, blah. And I've got the bird here. There we go. And I have a hat. Here we go. And I could actually run all of these through my die cutting machine all together at the same time. I almost got that bird a little too close, but looks like it's gonna work right there. And so I would run it through, and then from the magic of television, I have all the pieces cut for you. I didn't think you would want to watch me cut pieces out of my die cutting machine. I'm getting smarter, you guys, with these Facebook Lives. I'm not an expert yet, but you know, every week I get a little bit better. It's only taken me 4 years now. 4 years to keep getting better, and I keep getting better. So we all have better weeks than others. Okay, so here are all my pieces. I have the two trees, okay? I have my snowman. I have his little hat. I have his little scarf. I've got a little bird. And I've got the two arms. Now I wanted you to see the cool thing about these two arms. These two arms have little circles on the end. And those little circles are gonna help us glue them onto our snowman, okay? So all you have to do is put a tiny dot of glue right there. Look, how easy is that? And then we're gonna set it right here on the back of our, isn't that a great design feature? So instead of trying to get that little stick part to stick, all we have to do is put the glue on that circle piece. Oh my gosh, I thought I just dropped that little hand, and I thought I will never ever find that. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of glue right here on the edge of my hat and attach it right here to the top of his little head. So cute, little frosty. And then a red scarf and attach here to his body, right like that. Now there are a lot of things I could have used. I could have used a beach hat, a stocking cap, pearls, a bow tie. We've got some evergreen. Okay, I think the snowman's nose needs to be a little bit orange, and I'm going to use a light pumpkin pie for that with my blends. Perfect. There are also little noses that you can cut out of cardstock if you wanted to. But I decided to just blend it in like that. Okay, so here's my circle. I'm gonna take my snowman and, well, first let's do our trees. I'm gonna put a little bit of, you know what would have been smart for me to use on this would have been that adhesive paper. I never think about that until after I have everything ready to go. I just had that liquid glue in my hand and I can't see it right now, but it's okay. We're gonna take a little bit of glue right like that. I'm gonna put one right there. It's okay if it goes off the edge of the circle a little bit. Kind of gives it some dimension, right? And here's my other one. But that adhesive paper would have been the perfect thing to use behind this. Adhesive paper makes pieces like this into stickers, and so it's really easy to stick on. Okay, and then here's my snowman. Isn't he so cute? Let's pop him up. Use some dimensionals. Grab a couple here. I'm going to put one down there and one up here kind of where his hat is, and maybe one in the middle, right? There we go. Then I think you're going to love my last card too. It will not have a snowman on it either. So here's my little snowman. Okay, my bird, I am going to use a mini dimensional behind my bird. I say that. Cut a little piece off this edge here. Make it a mini, okay? Behind my bird, and my bird is gonna be right up in the tree, my little cardinal. There you go. And then I decided to take some red rhinestones and just put a few spattering around the snowman, one here and one there, and then I'm going to put one on the panel after I get it on. So this then will pop up right here on the front of that panel. How cute is that? Isn't that adorable? It screams Christmas, right? So again, I'm going to take some dimensionals on behind my circle and one right in the middle there. And I'm almost done. Need to add a sentiment. And how adorable is this card? I can't think, you're right, Dana. Anybody who receives this card is going to smile for sure. Okay, so that is going to go right there. Cute. Then I have a sentiment, and I chose Thinking of You This Season. And I have a scrap piece of white here. Oh my gosh, I put a whole stack of white scraps right here just so I would have them handy. I'm gonna grab another one out of my drawer right here. Okay, and I'm going back to that real red. And I'm gonna just kind of use the edge of my paper to stamp it straight. There we go. You know what? I smushed a little too hard. Let's try that again. Too worried about it not stamping, and then that's so much better. Thinking of you this season. Okay, so then all I did, you guys, is cut this out, rough cut this out. Okay, so I did thinking of in a piece, and then you this Christmas in a piece. There we go. And I'm going to put a little liquid glue behind this, put it right here, and then another piece right below it, right like that. Cute, huh? Okay, thinking of you this season. And then all I have to do is pop this up onto, isn't that fun? I love this. I love it, I love it. I don't even care what you guys think. I think it's adorable. Okay, I do care what you think. My husband would laugh because I would probably obsess about what you guys thought. So anyway, if you love it, give me some love, give me some hearts and thumbs up, or just tell me, Judy, I really think that card is cute. That would make my day. Okay, so I'm gonna put, this on the front, and you see how I'm only putting dimensionals on the top panel, top half of this card, because I don't want it to stick to this bottom part right here, right? I only want it to stick to this. So I think keep it above the ribbon for sure. Center it on the front of your card, boop, like that. And then I'm gonna take my rhinestones here, and I'm going to add another rhinestone to the top part of that panel right there. There we go. Do you love it? I really so love this card. So if you spend $30 in my store, you know, you'll get a kit to make this. So I hope you love it. All right, next. Let me put these pieces away, and I have one more adorable card to show you, and it's another card that doesn't even have a snowman on it, believe it or not. It's kind of rude to say snowman wishes and then only do one snowman card, but you get the idea. You can make these snowmen look however you want. There's girl pieces, there's guy pieces, there's, you know, unisex pieces, whatever. There's adorable, there's pearls, there's bow ties, there's a fluffy hat, there's the top hat. So lots of creativity in this bundle. I think you would love it. All right, let me get all my stuff kind of organized. That's a funny thing for Judy to say. And so that I am ready for my next card. So I think the star of the show of this bundle is actually this piece here. It cuts out a frame that has snowflakes on it. It's just so cute, so cute. So I thought I can't get away with not using that. We have another little tree here that I wanted to use. And we've got this cute little bunny. So we needed to use that. So I created a card that uses just those pieces. And, yep, that one's pretty cute, but you haven't seen the next one yet, have you? Maybe when you see this next one, you'll think it's your favorite, okay? All right, so the next card, how cute is this? So I used that snowflake frame, and I hope you can see, I die cut it out of that white glimmer paper. I added some trees in the background, the little bunny, a sentiment there, very simple. This is another flip fold opening card. I used that white glittery ribbon. Isn't that adorable? And look, you opened it up and it's got a little snow scene on the inside. How cute is that? Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did that. In some ways it's similar to the last card, and in some ways it's different. So, but it's kind of cool to know that this card is cut and opens the same way that this card does, except this card opens vertically, right? And this card is going to open horizontally like this, okay? So, same card measurements. 4 1/4, 9 3/4, scored at 5 1/2, okay? Right, like that. And then I have a piece this time that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 because I wanted to cover the entire front of that top flap, okay? So the other one, you know, I brought it in a little bit like this. This time I wanted to cover the entire card front, okay? And this again is that gnome paper. See, the back sides of that gnome paper is super cute. We're going to cover all these woodland animals that are part of the gnomes. I'm going to add some liquid glue here so that I can move this around some. There we go. All right, there we go. And then we can go ahead and do the inside of the card. So again, I took that white glimmer paper, but this time I used our border dies. So we have these dies that are called, excuse me, oh, excuse me, border dies, and they cut all these really cool borders, but I used this just curvy one. So I took a strip of that white glimmer paper and I just cut it to make a little snow hill out of it, okay? So these are called the border dies, and I have used these a lot. This makes a cute little cloud. This is like a little eyelet section, a zigzag. These make really cute like envelope fronts. I've used those a lot. You would get a lot out of that. Okay, so I've got a piece of cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4 that I'm going to put on the inside, basic white. And then I've got this glimmer border that I have cut out of that glimmer paper. And I'm going to glue it to my card front here, and then I'm going to cut it off the ends, okay? So I'm going to add some adhesive. You know what? I think before I want to glue this down though, I'm going to go back to these cute little trees, and I am going to stamp those inside my card first before I put the snow down. So this time I'm going to use my soft sea foam, not to be confused with soft succulent. And I'm going to stamp it up, and I'm going to stamp my trees right there. There we go. Soft seafoam is that color. It's the same color as this paper right here. And then I'm going to take my snow hill here and attach that right over so those trees are just peeking out. And then I'm going to take my scissors and just shore that. Thank you, Dana. You're being so sweet. And just shore that up with the edge, right like that. Okay, and then I'm going to attach this to the inside of my card base, and that will be the inside of my card. We could stamp a sentiment on this as well. I'm a heavy writer when I sign cards, so I always need all my space, but if you would want a sentiment on the inside, you could definitely add one. Okay, so there we go. There's the inside of my card. Here's my outside flap. One more thing is that I'm going to take a piece of white glittered ribbon here, and tie it in a knot. My ladies that don't like bows do like when I say this time we're going to tie it in a knot. All right. I am not as good at tying in knots as I am tying in a bow. See, I just assume tie it in a bow, but it's okay. We're gonna tie it in a knot. Yeah, bow just kind of overtook the card, and I didn't want to overtake the scene. Okay, so there we go. There's my little knot there on the side. I just tied it around that front flap right there to the edge, and I'm gonna put that aside for just a minute. Now I'm gonna build my little snow scene that I have here. Okay, so I cut that snowflake frame out of white glimmer paper. Isn't that just adorable? And I'm gonna place it on this soft seafoam panel that is cut to 4.5 by 3.25. 4.5 by 3.25. So when I cut out this frame, I did have a little bit more around here, and I just cut it down to 4.5 and 3.25. I just cut it. You would get it already cut down for you, okay? So there we go. That's gonna fit right on top of that. But before I put those two things together, I have cut out some cute little trees from this die set. Let me pull everything out of this envelope here. I have a piece of basic white that I'm gonna use for my little bunny. And I've already cut out a bunch of these trees. I don't even need this many. I just thought better to have too many than too few. And what I did to each of these trees is that I took my Wink of Stella. Now, when you get your Wink of Stella, it has a black band right around this piece right here. You're gonna open it up. You're gonna take, oh, what did I do? Yeah, you're gonna take that black band off, okay? You're going to screw this back on, and that is gonna activate the shimmer from the barrel to your brush right there, okay? So then you just, there's little buttons right here that say push. You just squeeze it a couple of times and get it primed, and then the glitter gets to the brush, and then you just brush it on, and it just adds shimmer to anywhere you want it. So I'm going to add shimmer to my trees here. So they look like they are covered in ice. Give a little shimmer to them. This Wink of Stella might be almost done. I use Wink of Stella. Nope, it's okay. I just needed to push a little bit more there. Okay, just adding some shimmer. And I used 3 trees on my sample card, so I think that'll be enough. Again, just adding some shimmer. Cute, okay? So you don't really have to let those dry for very long, but put my lid back on there. I'm just going to set those aside for just a minute. While those are semi-drying, I'm going to take my piece of Whisper White here, and I'm going to stamp my bunny. My bunny, my bunny. Okay. So I would stamp my bunny in Memento Black. Any of you have pet bunnies out there? And then I would take my die cut, my little bunny, right here, and I would die cut him out. And when I was done, voila, I would have a cutout bunny. Okay, so I'm using that same blend, and I'm just gonna color in his little ear and a little bit on his nose right there. My little bunny, that's all I need to do for him, okay? So I'm going to take my green panel right here, and I'm going to add my trees. Now again, this is when it would have been smart to use adhesive sheets on the back, but I didn't think about that in time. So I know, Kathy, it's so much fun to add shimmer to flowers or trees or ocean, right? Okay, so there's one tree. I'll glue that down. Got another tree here. And I really don't worry about the branches too much. I just worry about getting the trunks down. Okay, this one I'm going to do a little bit lower. And then my last one here, I'm going to do a little bit higher. Whoop. Okay. Overlap them a little bit because that's what trees do. They're not all separate, right? Okay, then my frame is going to go right over that. Isn't that already so pretty? Okay, so my frame, I'm going to put some liquid glue here all the way around the edge. It's okay. I'm going to just pick it up. I was trying to prime it a little bit there, right? Look, made it work. And put a little bit here on the side. And just a little bit right there. Don't need much. We just need enough for it to all hold down. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. Now, silicone mats are perfect for these kinds of situations because the glue will not stick to them, okay? So silicone mat helps the glue not stick to it. And so I don't really want glue on my foam pad here. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat and my frame. I'm just going to lay it right on the edge there. And this is really when it's probably good to use liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of time. Look at that. That is just perfection, right? Okay, now I'm going to take my bunny. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back side and pop them up. I don't know why I can't seem, I just must throw my dimensionals all the way around because I always have a stack here when I start. And then when I need them, I'm like, oh my gosh, where did I just put that dimensional? Just put this little bunny right here in the corner. It's just in that frosty forest looking beautiful. Okay, then one more thing is that I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White and thought I had a piece in my thing, but oh, here it is, right here. Piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp on that. I'm going to move my silicone mat off. Sending wishes for a cool Christmas. And this is where I'm going to bring in that Bermuda Bay ink. Sending you wishes for a cool Christmas. I'm going to stamp it right here. So cute. And then I'm just going to chop that up. Now, when you get your kit, I will already have that piece chopped up and ready to go for you. Bring in my little paper chopper. They gave these away to people who joined Stampin' Up! Like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe not that long, you know. time is always weird now after COVID, isn't it? Like, I'm like, did that happen during COVID or was it, I never can remember. I'm just going to chop it down to a little rectangle here. And I'll tell you the size for those of you out there that want to know. It is about little less than 3/4 of an inch. So I would say 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4, 5/8 of an inch wide. Okay. And 2.5 inches, 2.25 inches long. Okay. 5/8 inch wide, 2.25 inches long. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of this and pop it up in this upper right corner. So isn't it fun that this Snowman Magic set, you can just do, you don't have to use the snowman. Snowmen are adorable though, right? There you go, sending wishes for a cool Christmas. And then I'm gonna take this panel and put it on a piece of Whisper White just to add a little bit of a border, a white border all the way around it there, okay? And I'm gluing this flat onto my white. There we go. All right. And then this is going to pop up right here on the front of my card. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so I'm going to do just what I did last time and just put dimensionals on this end of my Frosty Forest bunny card. And again, you only want it on one side because you don't want it to glue shut your card, okay? So here we go. I'm going to hone this all up right there. There you go. And if you wanted to add some of those iridescent dots, like sprinkle some in, you could. I kind of liked it just the way it was. And it's kind of fun how the trees just glimmer behind there, behind the glimmery snow. It's so calm. It's a calm little card, right? Okay, so that is card number 3. That is our last card for tonight. Let me get some stuff put away here, and then I'm going to say my goodbyes. This was card number 3. This is card number 2. And this was card number 1. All made from the same stamp set and bundle. I hope that you love those. Send me some love via Facebook. And I'm going to flip everything around here and say a proper goodbye to all my friends. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I will be back next Monday, and I'm super excited because I will have lots of information to share with you about things that we learned during On Stage, which is next weekend. Pray that I stay healthy and that we can go and have a great time. So, God bless everybody. I'll see you next Monday night, and think about joining my Christmas Barn Christmas card class. I hope you love those cards as well. So if you would like this kit to go, you need to place an order in my Tuttle Up shop using this host code. Now again, I will put that link directly to my shop, directly using this host code up in the description. So all you'll have to do is click on that and it'll take you right to my shop. The host code will already be embedded, so you don't have to worry about that. Place an order, and I will know that you want this kit as an online class to go. So God bless everybody. We'll see you next week.